My name is Keith Kleiner. I'm from the class of 1996 from Parkway Central. I have lots of fond memories of my days at Parkway Central. Some great teachers. One in particular, I guess, was my AP Chem teacher, which was Mr. Sherman. And he's memorable, and that class is memorable for me because of all my classes, actually, that was the hardest one. And that stuck with me ever since. You know, the hardest class turned out to be the one that I learned the most from, I think. And I really gained a sense of, you know, the satisfaction of working hard and learning. So that stuck with me ever since I took that class, and it's an inspiration for me to work hard and be all that I can be for the rest of my life, really. I played ice hockey for Parkway Central, so that was a fond memory for me, and there were a lot of good times there. But afterwards, I moved on, and I've done quite a few different things since I moved on from Parkway Central. Let's see. Well, after I left Parkway Central, I went to the University of Missouri at Columbia, and I got 2 degrees there. I have a degree in computer science and also a degree in chemistry. I also studied abroad, actually, one semester. I studied abroad in London, and I highly recommend that for everyone at some point in their lives to study abroad or just go abroad, period. It totally changed my life. To be somewhere outside of your own country for an extended period, in other words, a month or more, it just totally opens your eyes to a different way of thinking, a different way of seeing the world, a different way of seeing yourself and your own place in the world. And that was a really fantastic experience for me. So I had a good time in college. I learned a lot there. I worked hard there. And then after college, I moved on to begin my career. I knew exactly what I wanted to do after I left college. I wanted to pursue the field of computers, and the place to be then, as it is now, in fact, was Silicon Valley out in California. So 2 weeks after I graduated from college, I hopped in a car with everything I owned. I had no job, and I moved out to California. And I lined up some interviews on the ride there. I was on the phone during the ride out west, and one of those interviews that I lined up was with Google. And so when I got to California, I interviewed with them and a number of other companies, and a week later, I was working for Google. And so, boy, what a great experience that turned out to be. When I started out at Google, nobody had really even heard of them. The company was small, and they didn't even have a business model. They didn't know how they were going to make money or anything. But they had some really cool technology, and that's what attracted me there. They had a lot of smart people. That also attracted me. And so I joined up with them, and I was at Google for 5 years, and helped them and watched them grow to become a household name and literally change the world. My role at Google was to be my title was Manager of Hardware Operations. So to translate that, I was basically responsible for managing the team of people that installed, maintained, and configured all of Google's thousands of servers worldwide. And wow, it was a great experience. And then after Google, I guess, I was there for about 5 years, and at that point I decided it was time for me to move on to some new challenges and new experiences. And I've been doing a number of things in the last 3 years since I left Google. One thing I wanted to do was get back into science. So I thought of a number of ways of getting back into science, such as maybe getting a PhD or working in a lab, but ultimately I decided to teach. So right now I'm teaching high school physics and having a great time doing that. I also started my own hedge fund 2 years ago, and that's always been another one of my passions. Actually, I've been investing in the stock market since I was in high school. I used to cut lunch sometimes at school so that I could go home and check my stocks, because back then you couldn't just do it on your cell phone or anything, so it wasn't as easy to keep track of what was going on. So even in high school, actually, I was really into investing. So yeah, after I left Google, that was another passion of mine that I wanted to pursue more formally, and so I started a hedge fund, and it's been going for 2 years, and I'm still kind of ramping it up. I hope over the coming years it's going to be real successful and just grow and be be a lot of fun for me and good learning experience, and also rewarding for my investors. Also, actually, I'm involved in one other big thing that takes up my time. There's this idea of this concept called the singularity. It's basically it is the idea that in the future, because of the advances that mankind is making in technology and information, there will be a lot of big changes coming into society, maybe a lot more so actually than most people realize. So I started a website that tracks, it's a blog, and it's called Singularity Hub. And at Singularity Hub, I basically blog about all the advancements. Well, not all of the advancements, because there's a lot of them happening all the time. But I try to pick out notable advancements that mankind is making every day in fields such as nanotechnology, biotech, genetics, artificial intelligence, robotics, those sorts of things. And there's just, actually, it's unbelievable how much stuff is happening in those fields right now. And there's going to be enormous revolutions, in fact, happening in the coming decades because of the advances that we're making in those fields. Revolutions in the fields of medicine and longevity and people's ability to understand and manipulate information and just be much more productive and capable, and just a lot of doors I think will be open for mankind, just like in the previous decade or so. The internet has opened a lot of doors. I think there's a lot of things that are going to be just as big or bigger that are going to change how we live. What do I have to say to future alumni? Congratulations, I guess, right? To be an alumni that most likely they've had many achievements in their lives, and from my own experience, I know that they don't come easy. You actually have to earn them. You really got to work hard. You got to be all that you can be. And so, yeah, I would congratulate them on their successes that got them there, I suppose.